E360 TV proudly presents messages of inspirational stories. Live streaming now to millions of devices, including Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. With your host, Donna Guinois, producer and host, Jim Grant, producer and host, along with Michaela Vidal, administrator and host, and Gaia Guinois Balconi Wada, editor-in-chief. And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The Messages of Inspirational Stories is proudly brought to you by the Pirate and his hat.
Bard.
Yeah, how you doing? It was probably brought to you by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com and Mr. Bill Heinrich's book, The 7 Levels of Truth, and we're going to be putting those marquees there. And today, Emerson, I see you were all dressed for the occasion from your trip back. You tell us a little bit about where you've been. Folks out there in TV land been that's wanting to know, where's Emerson?
Well, every year, I attend a working cruise. It was an 8-day cruise, and it's called the Marketer's Cruise, and it is exhausting. It's a lot of work. It's also good seeing friends that I've known for years, and meeting new people that I'm able to build relationships with. And it's more than just a networking kind of an event, or it's not a seminar at sea or any of those things. So we were gone for 8 days. We went to the Dominican Republic. We went to San Juan, Puerto Rico. We went to Saint Martin, which is the Dutch side of the island of Saint Martin, and we ended up in the U.S. Virgin Islands at Charlotte Amalie.
Wow!
So that was our cruise.
Oh yeah, yeah. I tell you, how many people were on that Marketer's Cruise?
Well, the ship holds, I believe, about 2,000, maybe. And we had about 500 of that. So we had the person who puts this on, Captain Lou, he's the captain and I'm the pirate. But Captain Lou is the largest, this cruise is the largest single group cruise that Carnival Cruise Lines has each year.
So your group was about a fourth of the overall passengers. Yeah. Yep. And I bet you were the only pirate on board, right?
The only pirate. Everyone knows if they try to come as a pirate, I'll keel haul them.
There you go. There you go. Did you find any treasure, or did you bring us back any treasure? Oh, you brought back some good things, though. You really did.
I did. I did. I made some good connections that some of the people may be seeing in future shows. Had some good conversations with some pretty amazing people. People that will be speaking directly to our youth shows on Wednesday, and people that will be speaking directly to business, to health and wellness, and women, and to our women and leaders. And who knows, maybe one or two of them, Jim, will also have something to bring to the pets that change our lives.
Pets we love, yeah. Pets we love, yeah. I tell you, we want to remember Donna and what she's going through. She had to put her beloved Jake down, her great Pyrenees, and we know what she's going through. Those of us as lost beloved pets, we know what she's going through. Just keep Donna in your thoughts and prayers. And Donna, we're praying for you, and we understand, we feel for you, and take care of yourself, take care of your heart. We'll be here. So, just take a deep breath and relax, Donna. That's all you can do.
The thing about most pets, I can't say it for all pets. I mean, but in my experience, and full disclosure, we're dog people, but I mean, you get right. You get absolutely love that is, unconditional.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolute. It's unconditional. You can be sad. You can be glad. You can be upset. You can be, you know,
Dogs
almost
are,
any kind of emotion, and they'll
yeah.
still come up and try to comfort you and love you and be there for you. And it just tears your heart out when their lives are so short. Their lives are so short, and it just tears your heart out when this day comes.
Yeah,
So
it
our
really
hearts do
does.
go out to you,
Oh, yeah.
Donna.
And, when you talk about dogs and stuff like that, the unconditional love, the way they're always focused on you, how are
Yep.
you doing? That is you are the
You're
center
their
of the
world. You're their
universe.
sun and
Yeah.
moon and stars and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Yes. And, speaking about shows, probably starting next Monday, because yesterday we had Rennie Gabriel on, and this was a prelude of what's coming. And let me share with the folks a little bit how all that came about. Those of you that follow the show know that I had a heart attack and open heart surgery and all that. We're going to be getting into Dandelions, but in just a few moments. But I called Rennie Gabriel and just wanted to see how he was doing, because I knew he was concerned about his heart. He'd been keeping track of me. How you doing? Bottom line is, I'm very thankful I had the heart attack. I'm very thankful I had the surgery. I'm very thankful I had the 4 bypasses, because I had an hereditary condition known as the widowmaker. And I had over 90% blockage in my heart. So I'm very, very thankful for that. But anyway, that call of, and this is important, why we should reach out to family and friends from time to time, let them know we're thinking of them. But that call for me to tell him about what I found out about dandelions generated a totally different conversation. I really don't remember exactly how it just came about. And there was no alternative motive or ulterior motive or anything. But the bottom line was this led us into us doing a series of shows on how they're going to take a guy like me who can't even spell real estate, and him and Mike Wolf are going to ground guide me into the world of how can I buy real estate with no money out of my pocket and be able to sell it, flip it, whatever they want to call it. I'm just, you guys are going to be with me along for the ride. And we're going to be very open and honest.
And under the If You Knew Me Well tab, I spent a lot of years in marketing for real estate gurus, quite a number of them. The last one that I did any work for were the Flippin' Boston guys. You've seen the TV shows. So I did a lot of their marketing, and I created a whole book that described their program and other things.
Yeah.
And that's been my world. But I spent a lot of years. In fact, I'll just say this for you watching. If you ever saw an infomercial late at night that had 2 really small guys, John and Greg Rice were dwarves, and they were the world's smallest twins. Well, that was one of my several infomercials that I created in that space, and it became the longest running lead generating infomercial ever. But I'm not an infomercial guy. I'm a marketing guy. Yeah, I'm marketing, copywriting. That's what I do.
Yeah.
But that ended up being. I get introduced a lot of times because of that infomercial.
Oh, yeah. And what led into this thing too is that I shared with Rennie, and I'm going to put his website up there because he talks about wealthonanyincome.com. And if you go there and / on TED Talk, I think it is TEDx. And anyway, go to his website, check it out. He's got some free gifts there for you. But I told Rennie it was in Tucson, Arizona. So it had to be in the late 80s. I went to a webinar, a real estate webinar. And little did I know that it was one of those deals where it's free to come and it's a pressure cooker on you because they want you to pay to leave.
So like the Hotel California, Jim, you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave.
There you go. And I was sharing with Emerson earlier today on that experience. And I looked around, people just like me, they kind of like, well, I came here to learn something. I didn't come here to buy an expensive, program and start learning. I wanted to I was on a fact finding mission, I guess you might say. And I remember when you looked at the back of the room, they had the people on both sides and a couple aisles on the outside, big center aisle. And in the back of the room where the doors were, in the center of the room, over on the right were the tables, tables where they had all of their products there. And there was a man and woman standing there. So I eased up and I walked over to the left side and I go down that wall and I make my turn to head to the door. And I just kind of glanced at him, and the man and the lady were both standing there. They did not say a word, but their expressions on their face and their body language to me was kind of like, you got to be a special kind of stupid not to buy this. Kind of like, what's wrong with you? And they made me feel about that high. And in that conversation with Rennie, that's what generated where we're going to do a real estate show on Mondays and on business. And good folks, all of the things that happen, what went well, the lessons we learned, it's going to be revealed because we're not going to hide anything. We're going to be right up front with you because that's the only way I know how to do a show. But anyway, like I said, we were talking about dandelions. And my goodness gracious, when it comes to dandelions, I want you folks to do one thing. I want you to just simply listen to the information Emerson and I are going to share with you during this broadcast and do the research for yourself and make the right decision for you because we're not, we certainly don't have any medical training. I'm not even an herbalist. I was researching alternative ways to treat my heart without using the statins that's prescribed. It has a whole bucket full of bucket list. And this is what led me into the world of dandelions with many cardiologists and that sort of thing. And Emerson, you used to have a job picking dandelions, didn't you? Share it with us, brother.
I sure did. I'm going to preface it, though, by saying every part of the dandelion is edible.
Yes.
Every part of the dandelion is edible. I did not know that as a kid. And where we live in Florida, when I was a kid, before the advent of really available pesticides that everybody was, or fungicides or weed killers or whatever, that everybody and their brother was using, it was not unusual to get up in the morning and riding my bike down my neighborhood, see yard after yard that was just absolutely covered with yellow dandelions that had sprung up overnight and were all facing the sun. And dandelions are interesting in that literally from the setting of the sun to the rising of the sun the next day, a seed will grow, create a flower, and it'll be facing the sun. And that flower, after a day or so, will turn to a little powder puff ball. And every single one of those little powder puffs has a little seed on it. And the wind catches it, blows the seeds everywhere. Well, I had a job. I had a job. And I got paid a penny a dandelion for every one that I pulled up. Now, what's interesting is my wife on the opposite coast over in California, she had a job when she was a kid, a penny for every two that she pulled up. So I had a better deal. But but I literally 1 week got $10. Do the math on that.
Well,
just from the dandelions I pulled, which was a lot of money for me at that time because I think I got $2 or $3 to mow somebody's entire yard. Going and pulling dandelions was a good deal. So I learned real quickly when they turned to powder puffs, I would pick them, but I wasn't quite as careful about making sure that the seeds didn't blow off as I picking those things, because I consider that my first investment, Jim.
Mm-hmm. Your first
Was
investment
letting
in
those
marketing.
seeds go.
Yeah, he blew them.
So I had to be the one to come in days later and dig those up too.
Yeah, that was his first experience in mass marketing. There, you might say he was
That's well, or in undercover investing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but yeah, I made money. I think when I went off to college. Now, folks, you got to remember back then. It $10 if you were 10 to 12 years old back then. That was a lot of money.
Yeah, it
I mean, that was
was
a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
look at
when I
what
went off to college, I think I had saved up about $500 or $600,
Mm-hmm.
and an awful lot of that was from those dandelions.
I'd be doggone. Yeah, because
And
you figure
that
back
was
in
enough to get me through several quarters of college in terms of my physical expenses for food and gas and things like that.
Yeah, because shoot, I remember back in those days, gas was 27 cents a gallon.
It's about that, 27, 30 cents a gallon.
And
Yeah.
then they have the gas wars. I remember the gas wars back then. They dropped the gas prices down
Oh
to
yeah.
17 and 18 cents a gallon. Yeah, they sure would. And
it was,
just amazing.
people, it's hard to understand, but it was just as difficult to take, it was just as difficult to manage your finances based on what you had to work with then as it is now. Just there's extra zeros behind it now.
Oh yeah,
but the numbers, it's not like if you made $40,000 a year and had to pay 25 cents a pound for hamburger. It didn't work like that,
No, it didn't.
It was generating a lot smaller amounts of money, and things cost a lot smaller amounts of money. But it still was a stretch to make your buck work in those days. So I mean, it's no different than today in young families that are having to deal with ridiculous grocery bills and gas bills and everything else.
Oh yeah.
So just add a few zeros to it, folks, and
there you go. There you
you'll
go.
kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
I probably would have gotten $1 a dandelion today. I don't know.
Probably about the same ratio, really, as far as buying power.
Probably would be. Yeah, it really would. I mean, what is gas where you're at, Jim? It's
just under $3.
I think ours is a little over 4, but it's still, yeah. So if you think about that, that's what is that? 10, 15, between 15 and 20 times the amounts.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not about back in my day. It's not about that. It was just as difficult to make that tank of gas then as today.
Oh yeah.
Just the numbers are different.
Oh yeah. Getting back to what I was.
You were talking about houses there a minute ago. Oh, for goodness sake! I mean, oh my goodness, we had over 400 free workshops a year and over 80 in-depth 3 and 4 day trainings like you were talking about in the real estate space.
Yeah.
But the thing is, buying a house today is a lot more expensive, but the metrics still work the same. People made less, houses cost less, you had different dynamics and interest and down payments and all of those things. But I was sharing with you before the show, I literally at one point in my own, real estate investing, I literally bought a house using an American Express card.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it can it can still be done. These things can still be done.
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily exactly the same, but they can still be done.
Yeah, Emerson is sharing with you some of the things that we're planning on that Monday, expanding your business, because we got a lot of good stuff coming your way.
Yeah, and I kind of deviated there, Jim. Sorry about that.
That's okay. But getting back to what I said when we first opened the show, I started researching, and I don't know how I tripped across dandelions, but I started looking at cardiologists and what they had to say. I didn't want to go to people that, sold products, because they're going to talk, they're going to puff up their product and all that. And I didn't want to hear from John C. from Tupelo, Mississippi, or Mary M. from Chicago, Illinois, because I don't know anything about those people. They could be made up. Some of those testimonies, they might be made up, you might say. But I went to cardiologists, and I was surprised at the number of cardiologists who actually stopped prescribing statins for their patients and started putting them on dandelion. I drink in this cup here, you might see, this is dandelion tea. Believe it or not, I drink 2 cups a day, one in the afternoon around this time, 3 to 4, and then I'll drink one at 8 to 9 o'clock at night. And one of the things that I've noticed is that it helps me sleep deeper, and I sleep anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour longer now than prior to that. But the cardiologist made a this one talked about the studies that has been done. Not testimonies, but studies that have been done. And he said one of the, I'll just say this. You can imagine who might be the big money behind brainwashing us to think dandelion is a weed and we need to get rid of it. We need to hire Emerson for a penny a plant to come over and pluck it out.
Man, I wish I was still digging them.
Yeah. And you could have a gold mine there.
Oh,
but
no kidding.
He actually said this, and this really got my attention. He says, think of the dandelion as being a repair kit for your heart. So, whoa. So I went on to study, and Emerson, I sent you a link there. We're on healthline.com. We're going to share some information with you. And on the first item there, they're going to mention about 13 health benefits of dandelion. As Emerson said, the leaves, the root, the plant, everything is beneficial. Yeah. And they include promoting liver health and fighting inflammation. Boy, that's critical, isn't it?
Yeah, inflammation is really at the root of most diseases.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I really like here, what they said there, and Emerson, I'm going to give you a chance to talk about this, is very highly nutritious from the root to the flower. That's just really amazing. Everything about it, huh?
Pretty much everything. Which 2 things. I mean, I really was astounded when I was in college, and one of the books that we had to read was Ray Bradbury's Dandelion Wine.
Oh, and, yeah.
It opened my eyes to the fact that, to me, dandelions, you can make wine out of them. What is that about? But it opened my mind to the idea that, maybe a lot of the conceptions that I had about that and other plants may or may not be right, And so it was, it was kind of an eye-opening moment, if you will, for me that, hey, there may be something more than just what I see as weeds.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, I'm not trying to make the connection directly from wine to your tea to everything that you can eat on a dandelion, but I did learn along the way that everything in that plant is edible. So I've had dandelions in salads, for example. Dandelion greens cooked are delicious. So,
it's just really amazing. Because here at the healthline.com /nutrition/dandelion-benefits, it talks about the dandelion greens can be eaten either cooked, as Emerson said, they could be eaten raw. They're an excellent source of vitamins A, C, and K. And they also contain vitamin E, folate, and small amounts of other B vitamins. And they say what's more is that dandelion greens, they provide a substantial amount of minerals, including iron, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. And they talk about the root here, Emerson. The root
Oh,
of
yeah.
the dandelion is rich in carbohydrate inulin, not insulin, but inulin, inulin. This is a type of soluble fiber found in plants that supports the growth and maintenance of having a very healthy gut bacteria in your digestive tract. And that is one thing I've noticed about drinking the dandelion tea. It helps clean out a lot of the fecal matter in the body. Let's be honest, it just does. And when it comes to your experience in dandelions, the information I sent there, I mean, I'm just amazed there's not more praise for dandelion, Emerson.
Well, I am too. And dandelions, and I'll just say this, Jim, I mean, dandelions are one of many of the plants that our ancestors and forefathers and mothers gathered and cooked or didn't cook, or gathered and ate and benefited from. I mean, it really, I'm going to segue here for just a second. There are, in South America, I don't remember the number. I'm going to say it's over 1,000 different varieties, though, of potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Potatoes. And the Indians who lived in the area when the Europeans came literally got almost all of their nutrients from potatoes. And we think of potatoes just as a starchy vegetable. Make potato salad, you make mashed potatoes. And for people who are on various trendy diets, oh, you don't eat those, you want to eat protein, not that. But they got almost all of their nutrients from the variety of potatoes that they dug. Now think about that. Now the Europeans took back one or two varieties, and those varieties totally changed the population, created a population explosion in Europe all by themselves. And then, because they only had one or two, then we all have heard about the potato famine where the potatoes all died. Well, it's finding that, what's the word, Jim? I think it's homeostasis, right? That balance place.
Yeah.
The balance place. And when we're looking at foods that we eat, an awful lot of the foods all around us are plants that we can draw from and pull into our salads. Anytime we make a salad, there's 5 or 6 different plants that we have around us in our yard. Not necessarily the dandelions, but sometimes one might use. There's a spinach that we have. It's Okinawan spinach. There's a oregano. We'll pull that and throw that into a soup, or rosemary when we're making, cooking fish or something. And so we'll pull these natural things in to our diet all the time. And there's just so many more that we're not even using, like dandelions that have amazing nutrients, just packed with nutrients for your body.
Yeah, I was just shocked when I started doing my research on dandelions, because when I was listening to those cardiologists, I'm thinking, can this be true? I mean, because, these cardiologists, these are, very well, trained heart specialists. That's what they are. And I know they just wouldn't be talking about a weed in the yard unless it had some, merit behind it with medical studies.
Right.
And in doing my research, like here, I'm on the website, ladies and gentlemen, healthline.com/nutrition/dandelion-benefits. So you might want to make
that to the marquee, Jim.
Let's see here. I think I can here. Yeah, I sure can. And let me do that. That's a good idea.
That way everybody can go.
Yeah, let me go here and create a banner right quick, and let me put in here dandelions. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, you can go and read the information as we're sharing it with you. and you can make the right decision for you on the for the dandelion. There's just one of many, many, many.
I really encourage everybody, just copy it or write it down.
There you go.
Save it until
if you
after
want,
the show,
yeah,
because we're going to bring some points out to you, and then you can go in and do that. Do the research. Do your own research.
Exactly, and make the right decision for you. One of the things it talks about here that I really like is that dandelions contain potent antioxidants. It says dandelion is full of potent antioxidants, which may explain many of its medicinal properties. The antioxidants, we know they neutralize and free the body of these radicals that we hear about, and the molecules that are a product of normal metabolism but contribute to chronic disease. So it helps really get rid of those. Dandelions contain high stress of antioxidant beta carotene. This is what we need to protect our cells from damage and oxidative stress. Because my goodness, it said the summary here is dandelions are a rich source of beta carotene, polyphenol compounds, both of which may neutralize harmful free radicals and protect against chronic disease. That in itself would be a huge blessing for people, wouldn't it, Emerson?
Oh yeah, and I mean, if you have if you buy nutritional supplements at all, you know they're ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
You can easily spend 10, 20, 30 dollars or more, $50. I mean, depending on if you're buying it through a special organization or something, or through through a distributorship. But even if you just go to your local big box store or pharmacy,
Whole Foods or wherever,
wherever you're buying, grocery store, they're ridiculously expensive, and we take them every day. And here are things that literally are free that are providing amazing nutrients. So even if you don't stop taking your supplements, because I'm certainly not saying to do that, even if you don't stop taking your own antioxidants and everything else that you do, go out in the yard and pick a few dandelions and throw them in your salad tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I tell you right now, I was for years, I mean, on up till I started doing research on better ways to take care of my ticker. I didn't think I knew nothing about dandelions. I was brainwashed. It's a weed. No, it's not. It's a plant. It's a very valuable plant. And it's something that our body needs. And like Emerson said, some of the things you might buy as supplements, you kind of like figure, well, it'd be about like $1 a day, in a monthly plan or something like that, maybe a little more. But dandelions, my goodness gracious, I guess they'll grow everywhere. I don't know. I haven't researched that. But one of the other things that dandelion is done, and we always say the word may. That keeps us under the radar from the FDA for us making fictitious claims. That's why we say we're sharing information with you. You do the research and make the right decision for you. But it's here on the health line. It talks about dandelion may reduce inflammation. Yeah. If it reduced inflation, well, we'd all be rich, wouldn't we?
Inflammation is a killer too. Most of your major diseases, the diet and the lifestyles that we have aggravate and encourage a lot of them. And the biggest one probably is cancer.
Yeah. And if you see my fingers, I've had a little bit of arthritis in there, and I don't have the discomfort. I've never really had discomfort from it, but I don't feel it since I've been on the dandelion. Maybe that's a placebo. If it is, fine with me. If it works, it works. But my point being, anytime we reduce inflammation in our bodies, we are giving our bodies a better bill of health to live the life that we so richly deserve, we want, and we cherish.
And your body has all sorts of brain and gut chemicals and other active structures that, given the chance, when we give our body the chance, can fight off an awful lot of the ailments that people consider as just part of life or part of getting older or whatever.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
That's our Western diet, and I say that. I mean, we have people watching this from all over the world.
Sure.
But unfortunately, all over the world, our Western diet has continued to spread. So there's hardly any city you can go into where you don't find American fast food places and American starchy, unhealthy comfort food places. And I'm not disparaging any particular company or product or anything else. The reality is, a lot of the ways that we eat are not healthy. And some of them play into the ways that our bodies developed over millennia. And one of those, for example, just as an example, it's not directly related here, but is fat. And fat is something that helped stock the body so that when you had periods of time with less food, your body was able to survive. Survival of the fittest, right, Jim? So
absolutely.
Things, and I'm just using that as an example, there are things in our life and lifestyle that we sometimes gravitate to that aren't necessarily the healthiest things for us now. And there are things like dandelions and other nutrient sources that have just kind of been lost over the years as we've moved more and more and more and more and more towards one-stop shopping. You know, you go in and you got a grocery store and you got the vegetables here and you got the meats here and you got the canned goods and stuff. And something that even 100 years ago might have been common or not that unusual, a lot of those things have kind of gotten lost along the way.
It sure did.
One more, Jim, and maybe you'll remember this. When I was a kid, when we were kids, when did you get oranges? In the wintertime, right?
Yeah, except when we went to Florida. We went to Florida, But in the wintertime,
are basically more of a winter fruit.
Yes, you're correct.
They would ship them. They'd ship them all over the country. You'd order, 12 oranges. Think how much that has changed to where anytime you go into a store, any day of the week, you're going to be able to find some citrus fruit from somewhere, north or south hemisphere.
Oh, yeah.
And our whole way of eating has changed. Now, I'm not saying it's a lot worse or anything else. I'm just saying it's changed.
Yes.
And part of that change is the convenience. And part of that convenience is stores are going to sell what sells the most. So if you have something at a store that you really like to buy, make sure you buy it. Because if people stop buying it, it ain't going to be there anymore.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that the truth?
These are things that, they're invisible, though, Jim, to most people. Now, having spent my entire life in marketing, I see it. If you talk to me about a grocery store shelf or a department store shelf, or for that matter, you talk to me about online like Amazon or whoever. You have to step back from it and think of those businesses as real estate. That inch on that shelf is being tracked as to how much money it makes that business. And if it doesn't make as much as something else, you go back next week, it'll be gone. That's just how it works.
You're exactly right.
And it's not about your health. It's not about, well, some people can't eat this and some people can't eat that, or some people would like to have this or have that. It's not about any of that. It's all about how much that inch generated in the last 6 months as to whether or not it'll still be there.
Oh, yeah. Because I was doing some research, and 100 years ago from right now, heart disease was not the number one killer.
No,
And
not at all.
I'll tell you what I found interesting, Emerson, and you hit on this a little bit. Right after World War I, we had the Spanish flu, and everybody was tired of doom and gloom. And then the Roaring '20s popped out, and then everything became, instantaneous for everything, instant wealth, instant food, because processed food started coming onto the market in the early
and refrigeration and other things. Yeah.
Yes. And when you look at the history of heart disease and the track record of processed foods, they run parallel, and both of them keep going up and up and up. And heart disease became the number one killer in America back in the 1960s. I lost my dad to heart disease in 1978. And back then, they didn't know how to treat hearts. People that suffer from heart disease, heart attack, hardening of the arteries, whatever, they just gave them medicine, pharmaceutical medicine. That's all they knew. That's all they knew. But my point being, like Emerson was talking about, the processed foods and all, that just runs parallel. And that is true with a lot of other things, because like Dandelion, one of the things that it does, it helps maintain a healthy blood sugar level in our body. And it may help or may aid in blood sugar management. Do the research yourself. One thing for sure, I haven't seen anywhere where it said dandelions would have adverse effects on the bodies or anything like that. I'm not saying you could sit down and eat a bushel of it at a time, but supplementing your body with good dandelions, I think that's very, very beneficial from everything that I've studied, everything that I've heard, especially from the cardiologist. So I drink, this is my first cup. I drink another cup of dandelion tea around 8 o'clock at night. And it helps, get rid of the little weight there. And at least it has on me. And, but I sleep better. Now, nowhere did I read that. I just thought, wait a minute, I'm sleeping more soundly, and I'm sleeping anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour more a night. That's got to be good.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's going to happen to you, but what I'm saying, that's my body's way of saying, thank you for giving me something I can use while you rest, while you sleep, because that's when your body repairs itself. That's when your body fasts, when you're sleeping. That's when your body can do the things it needs to do to maintain your health without you being so busy and interrupting it, because your conscious mind is now in orbit around Jupiter, and your subconscious mind can now do its magic, because a lot of people
into that deep REM sleep.
Oh yeah.
And boy, I sure appreciate that, because since my auto collision that the TBI, but also the auto, it really was after the auto collision that I started getting tinnitus in my ears.
Oh my goodness, that's horrible.
And I didn't realize how much that was affecting my sleep pattern. But I was just exhausted. I had no energy. And it's amazing when you're able to do things that allow you to sleep in that deeper sleep, how refreshed you are, and how you wake up ready, much more energized.
Yeah.
But you're not even aware of the fact that you're sleeping on a light level.
Oh yeah, that's very true. And living that life.
It'll be interesting to see, folks, when you try some of these things that we're talking about, let us know.
Yeah.
If you're experiencing differences in your sleep patterns or energy patterns or any other way, let us know, because that's the kind of stuff that we want to share. Is personal experiences. It's inspiration and hope. It's personal experiences, and it's things that other people want to know. I mean, I'm just gonna let me stand on this soapbox for just a minute, Jim. Many of you don't know, Jim and Donna, over there, just because of their commitment to doing this, they have close to 1 million people a month who want to see the information that they're bringing out like this, that you're not finding anywhere. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen a show on dandelions, Jim. Have you?
No.
But bringing out information that makes a difference. Inspiration and hope isn't just about real good, feel good. It's it's about real life. Things that matter. And so I'll hop off my soapbox there for.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Share it with people that you know, because these are the things that can help.
I'm glad you said that, Emerson, because after I had my heart attack, I'm 74 now. And one of the things I was asked by several people, my wife did not ask me this because I think she knows better. But I mean, she knows how much I enjoy doing the show. But a lot of people said, Jim, when are you going to retire? Are you going to retire now? I go like, no. Why would I stop living? Because age is just a number. I'm 74. Okay, if I was dyslexic, I'd say I'm 47, because it's just a number. Because the passion I have in my heart in doing this show is to be able to share good information with people out there. And that's why our show has grown all over the world. My goodness, Emerson, we've got a lot of followers in Europe that watch the show. India, thank you, folks over there. Thank you. Bless you. And Pakistan, my goodness. And Indonesia, Japan. We're actually, Emerson, this may shock you, but we're also got a lot of followers. And did you fall out of your chair there, brother? I didn't even say my punch word. But we also have a lot of followers in America and in Canada and Mexico. And the reason why people tune in is for good old-fashioned, honest, gut-level information from real guys, just common everyday people like Emerson and I are, and everyone else.
Gals.
And gals.
That includes Donna in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Oh, Donna, she's just, oh, bless her heart. I feel so bad for her because I know what Jake meant to her, and I know what she's going through. Please keep her in your thoughts and prayers. And if you want to send her a little message, just send it to our email address here at the station, inspiration@e360tv.com, and just say, hey, Donna, thinking of you, whatever you want to say. We'll be more than happy. Our staff member will be more than happy to get that to her. And she will definitely respond.
And let us know too. Let us know too, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you send something, if we have permission to share it with other viewers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because your thoughts and your sentiments and your words matter.
Yeah, if you just want to make a short video about something that we can share on the show, let us know. Get the clip to us there at the email address, and we will, respond to you, let you know what show it's going to be on, and we'll be more than happy to play it, because this is, Emerson and I and Donna and I, everybody here that's a host, we're simply the people in charge of, okay, let's click on this, let's click on that, let's talk a little bit. But the information That is the heartbeat of this show. That's what it's all about. And I want to go a little bit more about dandelions if I can cover a few more things. This is a big one here. This is a big one too. They say the word may. This keeps them out of the, between the crosshairs of the FDA. We all understand that. It may reduce cholesterol and triglyceride levels. That's huge for us heart people. Very, very important. And it said one test tube study, dandelion leaf and root extract decreased triglyceride accumulation in fat cells. And they give the link where that was done. This is the type of studies that really turn me on. Like I say, testimonies from Bill W. from Phoenix, Arizona, something means nothing to me because I don't know who Bill W. is. He may be the most reputable guy, most knowledgeable guy on planet Earth, but if I don't know
Bill W., I'm going to just jump in here. Bill W., if you're watching this show, we want yours. Send it.
Yeah, there you go.
Share it.
Yeah.
But tell us you're watching the show.
Yeah, Bill W. out there in Phoenix.
Don't be a poser,
Yeah. Well, the pirate will come and get you.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness. But it's just amazing how when you do the research for yourself, be a little selfish, if I may put it like that. When you do the research, examine it with the inquiring mind, like, what's in this for me? I want to know what this plant can do for me. I don't want to listen to just Emerson and Jim. I want to know that I know that I know that I've done my research. I've read up on the studies. I want to know that this thing here will help address my specific health issue. Dandelion has also been mentioned in being beneficial to cancer patients. Mm-hmm. Whew, my goodness. I think it'd be a shorter list if we list the things that they say, that they haven't tested dandelion on, but I haven't found that either.
Well, I'm not surprised. Antioxidant and reducing inflammation. I mean, those are two real key markers for cancer. So, I mean, I'm not surprised at all with that.
Yeah, thank you for saying that.
The heart and what it does for the heart. Well, again, inflammation around the heart. That's a huge issue.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad you said that because that just triggered something in my mind. I remember many years ago from my studies in the world of herbs and that sort of thing. This herbalist I was listening to, he made a very profound statement. And this gentleman says, remember one thing, everything on planet Earth from the molecular level on up needs nourishment to survive. Mm-hmm. Therefore, if you got cancer, if you got arthritis, if you got heart issues, if you reduce its nourishment, it's going to die. And that made perfect sense to me. It made perfect sense to me. So that's why Emerson and I, we encourage you to do your research, look in it for what the dandelion plant can do for you. Zero in on your specific problem, just like I did on mine. Because, I was looking for an answer.
Do the research.
Yes, exactly.
Do the research.
Exactly. Hmm? Well, Emerson,
Dr. Google's out there. Do the research.
Dr. Google, yeah. Remember the old, there was a search engine that came on. I used to use it a few times. This is way back. Ask Jeeves, yeah. Is he still around?
I know exactly the one you're talking about. Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, Ask Jeeves. And oh my goodness, I remember I had my first email account was Juno.com.
Sure.
Yeah. We're really showing our age. Yeah, hopefully we're not showing our ignorance, But anyway, at least if I show the ignorance,
shows whether we say anything or not, my friend.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone. On behalf of Emerson and myself, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope and pray that you and your family will do the proper research to research dandelion and any other plant or herb of interest to you that can help you enhance your health. And we hope and pray that you and your family are blessed in all areas of your life, be sure and remember to love yourself first, then you can love others. As Donna likes to say, be sure and give yourself grace. And Emerson, thank you for being with us today on the show.
And
it's
remember,
always a
every
pleasure.
Tuesday, we're talking about health and wellness.
There we go. There we go. We certainly are.
So we want to hear your thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure and share the show with others. We'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about mentoring our youth. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.